Welcome to Infinite Heart Stories, where we explore the hidden struggles of everyday people seeking light in a complex, dark world. Meet Ethan, a dedicated security guard who spends his long nights watching over others while his own mind remains restless. Every step he takes reminds him of his struggle as the cold wind bites through the holes in his worn shoes. His eyes are fixed on a powerful generator, a machine he believes is the only solution to his family's safety. He returns to a silent home where the darkness feels heavy and the fear of the next power outage looms. In the silence of the night, he retrieves his most prized possession, a thick envelope hidden away from the world. He smooths out the crumpled bills, treating each dollar as a vital brick in the wall of security he builds. To save this money, he watches his colleagues eat while he fills his empty stomach with nothing but plain water. He denies himself the comfort of new shoes, ignoring the pain in his feet to add more to the pile. He cuts off all social connections, believing that every penny spent on joy is a penny stolen from his future. Counting the cash becomes a nightly ritual, a moment that brings him a fleeting sense of control over his life. The envelope grows thicker with time, but Ethan creates a prison for himself, becoming thinner and more exhausted every day. His wife watches in silence, seeing her husband consumed by an obsession that is slowly draining the life from him. Paranoia sets in deep as he jumps at every shadow, terrified that someone might take away his hard-earned safety net. When his son falls ill, a terrible conflict tears him apart, fearing the loss of money more than the sickness. He chooses the cheapest medicine to save funds, his hands shaking as he parts with even a small amount. The landlord demands more rent, and Ethan feels the walls closing in, his anxiety spiking to a dangerous new level. No matter how much he saves, the fear never leaves him. The pile of cash feels insufficient against the world. Suddenly, the dreaded moment arrives. The power grid fails, plunging the entire neighborhood into a suffocating and absolute darkness. He scrambles blindly for candles, only to realize his extreme frugality left them with no supplies for this very moment. His son's cries pierce the silence, a heartbreaking sound that highlights Ethan's failure to provide true comfort and safety. Looking out the window in desperation, he sees a beacon of light coming from the home of his neighbor, Carter. Driven by curiosity and a hint of envy, he steps out into the dark corridor to investigate her source of light. He is surprised to find a line of neighbors waiting at her door, cash in hand, seeking relief from darkness. Mrs. Carter is busy renting out rechargeable lamps and power banks, providing a valuable service when it is needed most. Ethan watches intently as money flows into her hands, a stark contrast to his own stagnant pile of hidden cash. She spots him lurking in the shadows and waves him over, offering warmth and kindness instead of judgment or secrecy. He asks why she spent so much on these lights, unable to understand spending money before an emergency actually happens. She tells him that money sitting idle in a dark drawer is dead, while money used wisely creates new life. Ethan looks at her earnings and suddenly thinks of his own envelope, gathering dust and losing value in the dark. A sudden realization strikes him like lightning. He has been a prisoner of his own fear, hoarding instead of living. He returns to his dark home, seeing his family suffer because of his stubbornness, and vows to make a change. He takes out the envelope, but this time he sees it not as a safety blanket, but as a tool. The next morning, with a newfound purpose, he takes a portion of his savings and marches towards the electronics store. He walks past the expensive generator and instead purchases a supply of rechargeable lamps and power banks for the neighborhood. The clerk is puzzled by his bulk purchase, but Ethan smiles, knowing he is finally taking control of his destiny. Back home, he charges every device, filling his small apartment with a brightness that chases away the lingering shadows. His wife is shocked by the spending, but he explains his plan to turn their savings into a sustainable service. He posts a simple handwritten sign on his door and around the block, announcing his new light rental service. A few days later, the unstable grid fails again, and darkness descends upon the neighborhood like a heavy, suffocating blanket. This time, the neighbors remember his sign and rush to his door, eager for the relief he can provide. He opens the door, letting light spill into the hallway, and calmly hands out the charged lamps to grateful customers. People happily pay the small rental fee, grateful for the light, and Ethan accepts the money with a proud smile. His family joins in, turning the operation into a team effort, their faces illuminated by the lights they provide. He watches his son play happily under the glow, the fear of darkness completely gone from the young boy's eyes. At the end of the night, he counts the earnings and realizes he made more than several days of wages. He finally understands the flow of wealth. His money is no longer stagnant, but working for him and his community. Reinvesting his profits, he expands his inventory to include portable Wi-Fi routers, solving another problem for his disconnected neighbors. His humble apartment transforms into a community hub, a place of reliability and comfort in the midst of uncertainty. He finally treats himself to a new pair of shoes, walking to work with comfort and a renewed sense of dignity. He no longer skips meals, joining his colleagues for lunch and reconnecting with the social world he had abandoned. The worn envelope is gone, replaced by a bank account and a ledger that tracks his growing and active investments. He meets Mrs. Carter again, not with envy, but with gratitude, shaking her hand as a partner in smart living. Ethan looks in the mirror and sees a man who has conquered his fear, standing tall and ready for anything. He teaches his son that saving is good, but using resources to create value is the true path to security. When darkness falls now, panic is replaced by calm action, as the community knows exactly where to find the light. Looking out his window, he sees the lights he provided dotting the landscape, a visual testament to his changed mindset. He sits back with a warm cup of tea, feeling a deep sense of peace that no amount of hoarding could bring. The anxious man who guarded dead money has transformed into a wise investor who brings light and value to others. His ledger tells a story of growth, proving that taking calculated risks is far safer than hiding from the world. He now enjoys weekends with his family, understanding that the true value of money is the life it allows you to live. Just like a seed must be planted to grow, money must be circulated and invested to bear fruit for the future. Ethan's journey reminds us that security doesn't come from gripping tight, but from letting go and building something useful. The neighborhood sleeps soundly, bathed in the gentle glow of resilience, community, and the wisdom of a changed man. Don't let your potential sit idle in the dark. Use what you have to create value and serve the world. As Ethan turns off his light, he finally finds the rest he deserves, free from the shadows of his past fears. Thank you for watching Infinite Heart Stories. If this story illuminated your path, please subscribe for more profound life lessons.